First of all, thank you very much. It's just such a special honor to be here. I know that all of you all are first timers. And the reason I know that is because anybody that's heard me before doesn't come back. And also, as for this social distancing, okay? As for the social distancing, I've been that way my whole life. Everybody stays away from me. So it's time for the rest of you bastards to understand what it feels like. And for those that are sitting back over there, I apologize that you can't see the screen, but we have two treats for you. Number one, I'm going to give the wonderful staff at the office a copy of the paper, which is 34 pages, bullet points, by the way. I talk really, really fast, but you're really, really smart, and so you'll be able to keep up with it. I read 4 newspapers a day, which makes me a nerd, so talk nerdy to me. And in today's paper, there's quite a bit of stuff that's not a lot of fun. So at the end, one of 3 things is going to happen. I taught a class until 11:20 today, and I have to be back at 20 minutes to 2. So don't worry about it. But I was told I could have as many as an hour and 20 minutes. But if you have to go at 1 o'clock, I love you and I appreciate you. You understand that? You're not going to hurt my feelings at all right? But I'm going to go until I can't go anymore. And so even in the newspaper, you know, anything that's bad for somebody is good for somebody else. You all are like positive dynamos in the market. And with your permission, I'm going to take off my jacket. We're going to get to work. Where's Nancy? I need fancy Nancy. Where is she? Where is she? Nancy, stand up. Nancy, come on now. Stand up. Mademoiselle, you stand up as well. These people make me look smart, okay? They make me look smart, and I'm not. Okay, so we're going to go real fast. If I don't, I don't have all the answers. You can get a copy of the paper from the office, or you can get 230 slides if you're real patient. And also we have a gentleman back here that's taping the whole thing, all right? Which is kind of dangerous because I don't need my own YouTube channel, okay? I'll tell you that right now. So I'm not going to be shy about it. If I get sued, it's okay. So we're going to be talking about C-19 and you and the outcome of the election. I'm going to walk right down the middle. I just hope we get a president by a landslide so that we don't have any bullshit at the end. We don't need any bullshit, okay? Now, those that speak Spanish, that is caca de toro, okay? We don't need any of that. What's been going on is embarrassing and sad, but I'm here to tell you it really doesn't matter who's going to be president because of some of this stuff. It makes you realize and me realize the government can't fix everything. And government can't fix C-19. They can't fix the Black Lives Matter. They can't fix the fact that this economy is totally on fire, but at the same time, everybody's broke, okay? The families are broke. The cities are broke. The counties are broke. The state's broke. FDIC's broke. FDIC's broke if they've closed one bank. They haven't closed a bank in 10 years that I know of. I used to be in the bank closing business. We'd walk in on Friday, count up all the loans, see if the loans are performing and we're not lending more money so the clients can borrow the money. I think we're going to have a correction, but what do I know? All right, so on the introduction side, hang on, I got to go back real quick here. Introduction side, we've got C-19, political turmoil, rioting, debt bubble, and the U.S. economy. You know, the unemployment stuff in the newspaper today is it's daunting. You know, 19,000 American Airlines people are going to be laid off on Friday. Those people are from Dallas, Fort Worth, Hearst, Euless, Bedford, and Denton. And there's going to be a ripple like crap through a goose through this economy. There's going to be plenty of houses for sale, trust me, in January. FHA today, the New York Times front page, is that FHA, 17% of all FHA loans in this country are in default 60 to 90 days. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? We'll go with you. They're in default. Is that good or bad? It means more listings for you guys. So the economy is going to take some hiccups and stuff, but you're in the right place at the right time in the right county. Denton County and Collin County are the 2 hottest counties in the entire United States. You know, they say that the market in California is on fire. That's not funny, but they're moving here. So I'm not going to go through all of this, but I'm going to show you a few things. You know, the Biden candidate is looking for $775 billion, and there's going to be tax changes that are coming up. They're talking about taking the corporate tax. They're getting rid of the 1031 tax-free exchange. I'm on my 7th trade right now since 1991. I took a group of students to an FDIC auction at the old UNT hotel that used to be there on the golf course that also used to be there. And to make a long story short, I bought a piece of property for $75,000. I had 30 students with me. I think it was 1992. Had no money. I'm broke, just like I am now. I had $25,000 in collateral. My truck is nothing but rolling collateral. I bought a deal for $75,000. The lady comes out of there crying. It was on County Line Road at Denton Creek. Said, I wanted to buy that 70 acres of my grandpa's estate, and she was crying. I said, well, why didn't you buy it? All I had was $54,000. Well, why don't you buy some of it? Would you sell some of it to me? Yeah. So I sold her 20 acres in the old house that I didn't even know what the house looked like for $54,000. I sold the rest of it and I made $224,000 gross sales price in 6 months. I traded that deal 7 times. And so today I wake up at night and my whole family is around my face. And I'm like, am I in heaven? What's happening here? But there's a mirror over my, they're waiting for me to die so that all those taxes go away. Well, this guy's going to make sure that no more 1031s go on. Fed adds $2.3 trillion. That's what we're talking about right now, guys. If you take 230 American adults and you divide it by that number, it comes up to $10,000 per man, woman, and child they're going to print up next week. Print it up, but where's the money going to go? Each party's only going to get $1,200. Where's the other $8,800? That's also caca de toro, okay? So we need help from the government. We're probably going to have inflation. If we don't, we're going to have a depression. Take your pick. Moving right along here. So what are the chances the internet's going to go down? Oh my goodness, we don't. This is 2019, and oh, by the way, I was wearing a mask. Did you notice I've got on a tan? I've got a tan from the refrigerator light since March 15th. Yeah, and I've also put on 20 pounds. They keep saying, "Is that you, Baen? Is that you that rolled in here with all the?" I've learned a new word called gordo. It means fat. So it's about the economy. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not a soothsayer, but as I say, I don't care who's president. I don't think they really want to be president because there's a lot of trouble out there. Okay, so what they're going to do is they're going to hire a bunch of caretakers for senior citizens and for children and stuff like that. Now, I've heard rumors in the Denton area that if you're taking care of your kid and you're teaching them at home, you want a rebate of your property taxes for school taxes. I'm all for that. So I think taxes are going to go up. Trump is talking about 15 to 18% top rate for corporations, all right? And Biden is talking about 39.6%. You know, what would happen if we raised the corporate rate to 39.6%? If you got a company, many of you all have a company, okay? And so if you make a profit, and also if you make a profit, you'd be doing something a lot differently right now the second that election occurs. Why is Wall Street still going up? If people on Main Street are not doing that great right now, you know, like for instance, Amazon is hiring 100,000 right now, and they're hiring 6,000 right now in Dallas-Fort Worth. 6,000. Is that good or bad? Well, you might say, well, that's great, Baen, except they hire them at $15 to $18 per hour. If you were somebody that used to be in the airline business making $50,000 to $75,000, and you go back down to making $30,000, there's less disposable income in the economy. Obviously, it doesn't take a PhD to know that. So I don't want to hear employment numbers that we've gone from 18% unemployment, bingo, March the 15th, to 8% unemployment. If everybody's making half as much, I don't give a rat's ass. Let me explain to you what a rat's ass is. You pick up the tail and you look at it. So there's a lot of stuff going on. They're talking about the capital gains tax going up as well from 15 to 20% to 38.5%. This is not good. What would happen if we have an election and it's announced that the capital gains tax is going to be 38.5%? If that's the case, what would Wall Street do? Everybody would take their profit and get the hell out by January 1. And then we'd have a minor correction in the marketplace like 5,000 points. So taxes are doing great. State jobless claims up by 600%. These things don't just go away, guys. You know, but a lot of times I've got proof. You can't see it up there, but they paid over 1 million people $600 a week that have been dead for 4 years or longer. Man, I can't wait to die and still get $600. All right. So then we got this China deal going on. And Trump and the administration is concerned about security of the United States, which is what the federal market is all about. I'll get into houses in a minute. They found out some professors from China were actually spies. I can't imagine. And some of our students were actually spies that are PhD students, stuff like that, but not all of them. But now China's really hacked at us, man, because we sent home all the Chinese professors and all the students, et cetera, et cetera. Well, that's good, man. By God, they ought to go back home. Excuse me, but you're in a university town. And let me just tell you, those people come over here, then their parents come over here, they get on buses and they go buy houses in Frisco, they pay cash for them, they go back to China. 1 in 7 houses were being purchased 3 years ago by foreign people who had kids in school that came over here to see it, want to own a piece of America. So, moving right along here, tariffs up 25%. Well, who pays those tariffs? You don't realize it, but it's a tax. It's a tax against the consumers to pay more. And so there's going to be a $1.25 store. The general dollar store is going to be a general $1.25 store. That's too long for the signs. Okay? What percentage of Wall Street, of Walmart, is from China? The stuff you go buy in there. I don't even want to go there. But we've got real problems with restaurants. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. It's on the news every day. Don't worry. It's depressing now, but it'll get better later. So now workers are wondering, is my job important? Am I essential? I don't know about you, but everybody look at their thumb, man. Your thumb body, you're important, right? I'm essential. Oh, really? Well, then why is Wall Street doing so well? Well, it's because American Airlines laying off 77,000 people. That's not good. But there are a lot of companies that are now saying, I don't have to rent as much office space. My people are at home, right? People at home are like this. They're like, I think I'll get up about 8:15, maybe put a shirt on for my Zoom meeting at 9. I'll be naked from the waist down. We are getting bad habits in America right now. Zooming. We're losing our I want to call it momentum, our synergy effects, ideas and things like that. And, let's face it, a lot of people that are off sitting at home are on vacation, extended vacation. They're doing the same job they did downtown, but remember, in the olden days, we are only have productivity 3.5 hours a day, according to Harvard. What about Harvard? Well, we won't go there. But 3.5 hours of an 8-hour day, you're actually working. The rest of the time, you're around the coffee complaining about how bad the coffee is or whatever. But you're going on the toll road. Wait a minute, not as many people going down the toll road. They have bonds. Oh my gosh, they may default. You're not going to the parking garage that also has the debt on it. So if I was a CEO, here's what I'd be thinking about. Wait a minute, our profits haven't gone down. And we got people at home. How about we do this? It's a captured market. We're not going to renew our office lease. And if we do, we're only going to do 1/3 of it. And we're going to lay off or reallocate or whatever you want to call it, fire 40% of our people. And the ones that are off sitting at home, we're going to offer them 40% less. They got their choice. Oh, you enjoy staying at home? Awesome. We got a little problem here. We got a budget problem. And so as a result of that, stocks go up because maximizing shareholder value. And what about their travel budget? What is their travel budget today? 0. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for allowing me to have a speech today and being so brave to come. This is my first goddamn speech since March 15th. I usually make $100,000 a year going around giving a $10,000 speech once a month somewhere. But now companies are saying, do we really need to go and get on an airplane and go to a conference? Do they really? The cost-benefit analysis, is it really there or not? Wondering is the beginning of learning. Do we really need a meeting in Chicago of the regional managers? Let's just do Zoom. Oh man. So companies are making money. Not all of them, but some of them, okay? So 47 million people unemployed. I don't know where you came from, but there's only 150 million people working in the whole goddamn country. But yet the money, but yet the data keeps going. I got to get going here, man. Unfortunately, the loans right now are artificially low. Here's what we got. We got FHA, we got FDIC, government guaranteed. We got people saving more than they ever have. Is that good or bad? We need them out there spending, but they are saving more money. And they're not getting any return on it at all. I mean, 0.5%, 1/4%, or whatever it is. Okay, right? Okay? So we've got reserves going up like crazy. Banks have never been more flush with cash, except for the last 20 years, which is an exception we'll talk about another time. But why do they have so much cash? Because people are not borrowing. They're insecure. They're staying where they are. They don't want to go start a new business. They don't want a big credit card balance. Or we got the other ones is, hey, banks are saying there's going to be big defaults on credit cards and businesses and things like that coming up in January. And so we better get our reserves up. Okay? So we got FDIC over there. Then we got the feds. What are the feds doing? Well, FDIC is making loans short-term. Philip over there. Philip, raise your hand over there, man. He's making loans with short-term deposits, right, for 30 years. The 10-year bond rate right now is 0.7. Are you kidding me? 0.7 plus 2 is 2.7 on residential loan interest rates. Who in their right mind would lend anybody, particularly this guy right here, 2.7% for 30% fixed? Nobody in their right mind except the government, which is us, which we love the government. Okay, fine. So Fannie Mae is buying those loans for 2.7, right? All right, but nobody's buying their bonds. So who's buying the bonds? The goddamn feds are. They're buying corporate bonds, Fed bonds, Fannie Mae bonds. Where does this money come from? Inflation is good or bad? What do you think? Excuse me, but you are not a former student of mine. Inflation is fantastic if you have hard assets, okay, with below market interest rates that don't go up, right? And if we have a depression, you just give the stuff back to the bank. It goes like this. Oh, you're here to make an early payment on your loan, Baen? No. Here's the goddamn keys. That will occur, maybe not. I hope not, right? I've got several former bankers here, or current bankers in here. You know, blood-sucking bankers. All right, so at any rate, banks have also found out. We got excess real estate everywhere. What do you mean, Baen? 15%. We got record enrollment at UNT right now, 42,000. Well, that's fantastic. But only 15% of them are going to school. They're sitting at home, getting up 7:45 for my 8 o'clock lecture. I've got live lectures, Zoom lectures, and tape lectures. So, hey, student, stay out all night. You can always watch my lecture later. 42,000, but we don't have any freshmen and we don't have any transfer students. They're all students that got laid off in the restaurant business and decided to finish their degrees. So a year or two out, we're going to have trouble, in my opinion. But what do I know? And we're not building any apartments for students, are we? Hey, man, take a drive down around the campus, man. They're coming up like mushrooms. So we got a supply problem of too much university buildings, too many buildings, okay? That's okay, but we're rocking along here. Well, what are the chances that Harvard and MIT are going to come out with online classes that are better than mine? 100% chance. And not only that, the tuition is the same. Would you rather have a degree from UNT or Harvard? Don't lie to me. All right, moving right along here. The feds are saying it's bad. But look at the money supply they're printing like crazy. This is real, man. It's not that our houses are going up so fast in value. It's the value of the dollar is dropping like a goddamn rock, regardless of what the feds say. So gold is doing great. It's $2,000 a goddamn ounce, man. Golly, but it doesn't make a dividend. It's not like real estate. Got gold prices going crazy. We got banks got a lot of cash. We got all the banks in town here full of money, throwing money at us. But at the same time, they better have some reserves. Bad credit cards, highest it's been in 7 years. There's a storm coming, man. It's called January 1. Moratorium on evictions, moratorium on goddamn foreclosures. Oh, we don't call them foreclosures, Baen. We call them asset reallocations. We reallocate their ass back to the bank. So, reserving for, that's not good, man. How do you spell cash? Loan. That's what my banker tells me. At any rate, so we got big banks fearing more defaults. All right? FOMO, fear of missing out. 2/3 of all the new loans that everybody's doing is refinancing. It's not new houses and first-time home buyers getting a new loan, man. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm not saying it's good, but that's the federal government freeing up cash for families because if their interest rate go from 4 to 2.5 or whatever, they got more to spend every month. Okay, so where'd all this money come from? Well, it used to be the foreign guys came over here and bought all the treasuries and stuff, and we were lending them the money, lending you guys the money to your clients, okay? Well, all of a sudden the foreigners are saying, wait a minute, we're lending at 10-year deals at 0.7 and the value of the US dollar is going down. This is a sucker play, man. We're going to come get our treasuries. Who did we owe all the money to 2 years ago? It's called China. And China said, this is bullshit, we're going to come get our money. All of a sudden, the government had to start printing some, take up the difference. I love this lecture. It's awesome. Mortgage qualifications. Man, if you've got a pulse, they're going to lend you the goddamn money. All right, moving around. Oh, this is a little cycle of recessions. Do you think it's time for another one? Yeah. Do you think the government can keep from happening? Maybe not. Hang on, I know you're depressed. Hang on, got to get here. Argentina came out with a 100-year bond. What we're going to do, we have too much debt. We're going to sell 100-year bonds and pay them off with worthless pesos, see? Well, guess who else is talking about doing that? We are. Who in their right mind would live in the United States 100 years out? So we've got 54% of small businesses have laid off all of their people. We've got SBA gearing up that'll hire anybody. They want to hire 2,000 right now in downtown Fort Worth. If you've got a degree in business, know anything about finance, know anything about real estate, they will hire you at $18 to $27 an hour. And all you're going to be doing is on the phone talking to people who can't make their payments on a small business, okay? There's going to be opportunities coming. So the presidential election, we got a lot of stuff that is going on in that regard, okay? What's going to be happening is there's going to be, remember, you're living in the right place in the right time. It costs less money to go broke in Texas. If you're a company from California or New York, you can last longer than Texas. And we're nice people and we don't believe in unions, man. Try this on. Let's just say you're from New York. You can say, I don't give a rip about New York. Yes, you do. I don't give a rip about goddamn California. Oh, yes, you do. Because what happens over there or what happens over here, we got to pay for. Let's just go to New York City for a second. 30% occupancy of office spaces. 70% of the people are at home. Not fired yet. Their office space is still leased, but it's coming up. Leasing and releasing has gone to zero. 28 buildings, major signature buildings in downtown San Antonio, downtown New York, are in default right now. We're talking about buildings that cost $300 or $400 million each, and there's a financial institution behind them, or a real estate investment trust. We got all those little shops that are closed downtown New York. We've got, what else is going on here? Commuter tax. People that work in the city of New York have to pay a commuter tax if they come to downtown New York and work. It's a city commuter income tax. Well, they're sitting in Connecticut and they're saying, we ain't paying it. So the city of New York is flat ass broke right now. They got no money, got no sales tax, no real estate taxes. They've got too many employees. They laid off 9,000 on Friday that are not going to pick up trash. You know, they're talking about laying off their goddamn police force. Wow, this is interesting. How much would you pay to live in downtown New York right now? You would pay them not to have to, right? Okay. Same thing goes with Chicago. Holy shit, what's going on there? What about Portland, Oregon? What's wrong with that place? But what about here? Our governor came out. You listen to me. You're living in the right place at the right time. Governor Abbott came out on Friday and said the following. Anybody that sets a car on fire in Texas is going to jail for 3 years for a felony. Anybody that destroys private or public property is going to jail for 3 years. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. We know law and order pretty good, except for Austin. That's another story. Now, refresh your course. Read the paper later, okay? I wrote it for you. Why you are living in the greatest place, the greatest time to be investing, period, case closed, over, okay? I got to hustle here. Home sales jumped 16%. Oh, man, that's awesome. Why is that? Nobody's selling, that's why. They're not selling, except unless those people are on the move. Any time in history people are on the move, they're moving to better their family or make it safer. Only the people that went to California got rich. But on the way, a few Indians shot at them with bows and arrows, okay? So here's what's going on. There's a whole bunch of homeowners out there who are satisfied with where they live. And they're a little bit insecure about moving up or moving down or whatever. Is it good for people to be satisfied with their station in life and where they are? Well, let me tell you, this C-19 has caused a lot of things. It's made people actually, they don't have anything to do, so what they do is they actually have dinner together. Oh my God. They have dinner together? They sit around the same table? Yeah. But it's either one of two things is happening. It's either blowing the relationships apart and they're breaking up. Awesome. Or they're getting closer than they ever had. People in uptown Dallas paying apartment rents of $1,800 to $2,600 a month. People that have owned the houses in the wannabe Highland Park, the Park Cities area, which is not Highland Park or University Park, they're selling their goddamn houses. They don't like being that close to Dallas. They don't like being that close to that bridge where they're having the riots and shooting cops and stuff like that. So they're moving to North Dallas. And the North Dallas sellers are moving to the far suburbs because gasoline's only $1.88. And the far suburb people are moving to the semi-rural people. Wise County, where's that guy from Wise County? Been wanting to buy 10 acres so they can at least shoot out all 4 windows. And the people in Wise County are moving to goddamn Oklahoma of all goddamn places. Land is selling like crazy. There's just such a shortage of it. It's crazy, you know, and that's people wanting more distances, etc. So, yes, we've had record sales in Denton County, record title policy closings and things like that, and it's at the expense of somewhere else. Just trust me. Have you driven from here to Gainesville? There are so many brand new houses, and what are they building? They're building houses, they're 4,000 square foot houses with a little separate area. What's that for? That's for your parents. They're coming to live with you. Or your kids you thought were gone. It's happening like crazy, man. So we got home builders racking up record sales. Awesome. $180 a foot, $150 a foot with pre-owned houses looking better and better. We started out on March the 15th with timber prices at $342 per thousand. Do you know what it went up to? $780 in the last. Why? They're blaming it on the fires. You know, well, they're not allowed to cut timber in California. You know, I mean, you know, have you heard of organic vegetables? They got a new one now called orgasmic vegetables. And it's really causing upset stuff at the grocery store. But the point of the matter, what about the big storm down on the Gulf of Mexico that was recently? They're blaming high timber and stuff on that. They're taking the opportunity to get what it's worth, and that's going back to real estate. And that is all real estate's doing really, really good these days. Now, we got land in the suburbs. It's growing like crazy. Land in northern Wise County is selling for $10,000 an acre, man. I'm like, what the hell is this? You know, I mean, it must be drugs. Must be. Montague County, $6,000 a goddamn. Anybody from Montague County in here? I thought they joined y'all. Oh, they're all in jail. They arrested 17 people on Saturday for drugs in Bowie. That's true. Does sprawl help stop the spread of C-19? Well, you know, let's just put it in perspective here, man. There may be people in here that have lost loved ones to C-19, and I love you, and I'm sorry for that. I really am. And it breaks my heart. But let's just say there's 200 million American adults, or 250, fine. So, you know, times 3% is 750,000 people, 800,000 people, okay? Well, if everybody had it and everybody died, we would lose about 3 to 5 million people in this country. That'd break my heart too. Out of 350 million people living here. But is that any reason to shut down the entire goddamn economy and cause a recession and cause a depression? Wait till January, man, when they're kicking people out of apartments and they're kicking people out of their homes, and it's in Chicago and Ohio, and there's 3 feet of snow on the ground. You think there's people going to say, oh, I understand. We didn't make our rent payment for 6 months. I guess I'll have to go stay with my cousin or whatever. They're going to raise holy hell. So how many people here got guns? Let's see your hands, man. I love guns. See there? You're a realtor, see? All right. So this isn't just about a Texas deal. It's happening in New York as well. Everybody's moving out for one reason or another. And a lot of it is quality of life. And they're figuring out, well, why should I chase the dollar so much? I just soon sit in my backyard as part of my vacation. And so everybody's moving out. This is a house in Northern California. I actually saw this house. One of them is in Flower Mound, smallest communist nation in America. No, I'm just kidding. The house on top is $325. Sorry, Mayor. Sorry, I'm just kidding, right? $325,000 house in Flower Mound. Some very close friends of mine, trust. We bought 7. We used realtors in this room. Bought 7 in about a 1-month period on a trade. Yeah. And it was about $2.5 million. All of them were in Flower Mound except one. And so it was $325,000. Bought that house. But the house, the buyers are from California. They're real smart people. That's the same exact house except it's a flip, and it's 700% more in California. Is that good or bad? Hello, Texas, wake up. You're in the right place at the right time. And then suddenly all of our kids are coming back home because they're broke. They don't realize that parents are broke. So welcome to Denton, Texas. Supply falls, the seller wait on the sidelines. Everybody's just kind of waiting here, man. They're just kind of waiting. Zillow, look where people are looking. Look, they're looking in Texas. They're looking in Dallas and Fort Worth and Houston and San Antonio. This is a national data here. They're looking at you. They're coming, man. And what part will you play in this? Builders are passing on high costs to home buyers. Well, what are they supposed to do? You know? And look at this. How about the flippers? They're part of this whole deal too. Any house less than $250,000, those no good bastards in there buying them and they're bidding it up, getting 4 or 5 goddamn offers in one day. Those capitalistic pigs. But I'm going to show you another one here real quick. Hang on here. Hang on. Oh, what's that name? D'Angelo, that guy. Whoa, my goodness. 1 million mortgage borrowers fall through the safety net. We got 17% of them in default. This is your old buddy Buffett. He likes to play with trains. And he bought that goddamn train company in North Fort Worth, right? Guess what he's saying in here? He's saying that single family homes would be the investment he would do if he could just figure out how to manage them. Roy. Yeah, it says so right there in 2012. And guess what? Now we're building, my phone's ringing off the wall. Can you go find us 100 acres? We're going to put in a rental home community. Freestanding homes that are, the entire community is rental. It's a huge, big new deal that's going on. And I don't know what city's going to do about it. I don't know if they want them or they don't want them, or if they can say yes, they can say no, I don't know. But it's happening. So, and is anybody with Beth Alumni right in here? There's 160 houses they have listed over $1 million last Sunday paper. 160 of them. And they got 22 of them sold. Hip, hip, hooray. The new tax law is not helpful to those people. Okay, this is in Wise County. I've been telling some of my friends and colleagues that I think Decatur's going to become McKinney. Exactly, McKinney. I don't mean maybe. It's going to become McKinney. It's got the highway system, it's got the jobs down the road, etc., etc. And this is a couple thousand acres. Just want you to let you know, man. Affordability has been my charge for a year and a half. I think we went down to Austin, Khaki, and we talked to the state about if you don't find more affordable housing, that you're going to be out of business. You're going to be leasing agents pretty soon of apartments and things. That for 2 acres out in the middle of goddamn absolutely nowhere, they're getting $114,000 for a quote, quote, tiny house, which is a barn, and 2 acres. That's $50,000 per acre. Your homes here in Denton County and between here and Gainesville and between here and Decatur are too cheap relative to what land is worth and relative to what other people are willing to pay for it and coming here with extra money. So don't think prices are too high. You know, be thinking that they're too low and that people are willing to do this just to have their own house and fix it up. Land prices are going to get hurt because of cattle prices. Impossible burgers taste just like regular cows. I've had 8 now. I cannot tell the difference between Impossible Burger and regular hamburger. We got all this alternative meat stuff. Oh my gosh. We got Burger Kings coming out with their own stuff. We got ranchers that are dying because cattle prices are going down because of substitute meat. And you guys are trying to eat healthy. Texas Monthly front cover this month. The war against we're in Texas for God's sakes. Okay? So you guys need to come with it. You know, we're having trouble. And then the value of the land goes down if we can't figure out what to do. Can't put cows on there. And we got the Chinese people are messing up things with our pigs. You know, they're making medicine in China with our pig spleens. It's called ointment. That's a joke. All right. So here's I swear this is a brand new article. Has to do with land. Could bacon become the next Torah? I am not wiping with bacon, okay? Longer lasting avocados. We got egg prices going crazy. We're going to talk about apartments quickly. All right? Texas Apartment Association, 40% of all Texans live in apartments. Many, many towns have moratoriums against more apartments. You know, I can tell you that Argyle has no apartment zoning at all. And Flower Mound's probably got a whole bunch of them approved, but they're not all built yet, but they don't want any more. And so as a result of that, we've got some problems here because there's an awful lot of people who don't really want to buy a house. Their idea of a long-term commitment is a 12-month apartment lease. And people are going to come, they're going to get off the airplane, they're going to work for a company. Like say, all these companies that are coming, every day they're in the paper. They don't want to buy a house right away. They want to rent an apartment. So apartment rents are probably going to go up as well. Having more residents at home in apartments because of C-19, it's driving apartments managers crazy. There are people hanging around the apartments all day, you know, for God's sakes, and they find things they want to get fixed, you know, and they do this and they complain and they do all kinds of stuff like that. Or they're doubling up. The tenants are moving in with each other because one of them got laid off, both of them got laid off, and two can live as cheaply as one. Is that true if you're in love? Two can live as cheaply as one if you're really in love? Yes, but only half as long. So this right here is the New York market. New York market for apartments going to hell in a handbasket. So institutions are getting really weird about apartments right now because of price fixing, because of rent regulations, because they're overpriced. They think interest rates are going to go up, cap rates are going to go down. I won't bore you with that because we're in here doing all kinds of other things. But we have a lot of people offering incentives right now in Dallas-Fort Worth for inner city apartments. You know, 4 months free rent, all kinds of cool stuff like that. Why is that? Because people are moving out. They're moving Denton County, moving Collin County, et cetera, et cetera. Texas Supreme Court issues new eviction order until January 1. We'll talk more about that. House owners, high stress levels. Try this on. Students report less motivation. Now remember, 88% of the UNT students are not on campus. They're somewhere else. How important is that to this town? Are we a university town? Yeah, but we really haven't thought about it like we ought to be. You know, there's going to be some stresses in there. You know, there's going to be fewer people arrested for DWI, like the students, et cetera, et cetera. But the point of the matter is, everybody's under some stress right now. Everybody has some anxiety. You get to run around and wear a mask and do stuff like that, but these students have no money to go run around anymore. Students left dorms, payments behind. We're 25% vacant in UNT dorms right now. You might say, well, who cares? They have bond money too. They built those brand new goddamn dorms with bond money. So everybody's in the same loop right here. Will they start dropping rents? All the Chinese people left because they got their canceled visa by the president. In-person classes moved further out. Really? Child care crisis. How many people stayed home and taught their kids? Let's see your hands. You're real warriors, man. I don't know about you, but you've probably found out you're not a very good teacher. You don't even look like a good teacher, man. And why are we paying taxes? Why aren't they paying you anyway? Foreign students face Baen. You know, Texas University is shedding jobs. I'm in the Department of Finance, Insurance, Real Estate, and Law. And we have 10 senior faculty. That means they're fancy PhDs. You know, most of them went to A&M, so what do they know? And so they've been there for 15 or 20 years. They have tenure. They can't, quote, be fired. The university came along last month and offered everybody that's a senior guy or lady a whole year's salary to retire early. 6 of them took it. There's only 4 of us left. What the hell's going on? And we got MBA students and PhD students teaching senior level classes that used to be taught by PhDs from A&M, University of Texas, or places like that. So education's changing, man. I don't know what the answer is, but it's coming and it's coming fast. So student debt's $30,000. What are the chances they're going to pay it? If they're making $18 an hour, probably not much. I don't want to keep going here. The whole idea here is we got too many buildings and not enough people coming on, and etc. So now we got to go in here, this other deal on retail real fast. Do you really care about branding? I got an article the other day that there was 37 different kinds of t-shirts that men could wear. I don't know about you, but most of us aren't wearing them anymore. You know, we just wear our shirts. Well, there's over 40 senior retail places that have gone bankrupt. JCPenney's one of them. Okay, and let's just figure out what happened just real quickly, like this past week. Simon and Brookfield they're the major mall owners in the United States. And yes, this does affect you. Yes, it does. It does. Because JCPenney filed bankruptcy and the malls all figured out real quickly that if JCPenney goes broke, all of the tenants, except the major anchors, don't have to pay their lease money anymore. It says that their leases are 3 5-year leases for all the other. You know how you have to walk from one end of the mall to the other one? Those are the ones that make money. The JCPenney's don't. So the mall owners had to buy JCPenney last week. Holy cow! So now they're in the clothes business, except nobody's buying, nobody is wearing clothes anymore. These are all the ones that have gone broke. Well, if the malls go broke and the value of the mall goes, how many people have been at Golden Triangle Mall in the last 90 days? Let's see your hands. What for? Is there an unemployment office over there? Well, good for you. I'm glad. But if they go broke, then the city and the sales taxes and all that kind of stuff goes absolutely nuts. We're finding that a lot of people really don't care about brands and the shopping experience anymore. They've gone crazy doing it at light speed on the internet at home because they have plenty of time because they're off-seeing at home. Not you realtors. I mean, Men Warehouse. I mean, who wears suits anymore? I mean, I wore one today just to show you that dinosaurs still have them. Now, a lot of people made a lot of money, man, in the last little bit. Let me just show you real quickly. Denny's always open, never open anymore. Moving right along. Yeah, what if you don't like your in-laws? I can get this to move. Oh shoot! I gotta hurry here. It's not working here, man. What are we doing here? Hang on. Give your in-laws a cruise. They'll die. Okay, I gotta hurry up through here. Movie houses. 15 cents in Frisco. You go to a movie, 15 cents. Is that a good thing or bad thing? What it tells you is that $9 popcorn is overpriced. That's what it really tells you. So I got to hurry up here now. So they're all going to go broke. The gyms are going to go broke. What to do with, I'll tell you what has sold out. Bicycles, tents, RVs. Who bought an RV in the last year, or the last 6 months? A lot of the people that got laid off went and bought an RV and went and toured the United States because they knew they didn't have anything and they could do it on the computer. We need to be building places to store those things because they're going to be a big deal here now. Let's see here now. Healthcare. You know, people are dying to get into healthcare. Let me tell you what's going on right now. Healthcare for you guys is expensive because you're independent contractors, right? And I guarantee you, your healthcare, if you don't have a spouse that gets it free for the family, it's $1,800 a year. These people right here getting laid off. Elective surgeries getting laid off. Amazon, and this is in right now. This is not later. Now, they bought 6 health clinics for their employees. No insurance. If you're sick, go to one of them. What do y'all think about that? They're bypassing the whole goddamn system. Is that good or bad? Doesn't matter what you think. Maximizing shareholder value. They're not going to be sharing goddamn insurance anymore with the people who work for them. They're just going to give them free stuff, man. Then we got all these practices that really good people work for these doctors and they have a lot of people work for them. They're not making any money, man. And so they're going to be laying off. 16,000 dead in nursing homes. It's almost like it's a designer disease. That's terrible. Whole bunch of them here. I got to keep going here. Everybody stand up. Come on, stand up. We got a problem. We got a problem, guys. Here's where the problem goes. I've only got about 10 minutes, so bear with me. What happens in New York or California, we're going to have to pay for. They're going broke. And our income taxes are probably going to go out the roof because of it, or we're going to have hyperinflation. Everybody sit down. You may not understand that, but you will when it comes along. Should I bother getting dressed? We're becoming lazy and laid back and stuff, man, because we're Zooming and we're not going to the office. Bankruptcies are on the way after January 1. A lot of companies are going to take the bankruptcy deal, and I'm not saying it's good, not saying it's bad, but they got a great excuse. Can you require your employees to wear a mask? Interesting question. Should you measure before you let somebody in, go show them a car, go show them a house? Should you take their temperature? How interesting is that? That's real customer service. Hang on, I'm going to show you this house, but I got to zap you, I went through the line at AT&T Stadium on Saturday. I had 3 people test me. I was at 93 degrees. I think I might be dead. I don't know. So, is it here to stay working from home? Probably so. But what's going to happen is there's going to be a cram down. Those people are going to be offered to keep their job, stay at home for 40 to 50% less per month. And if they don't take the deal, it's going to be hard for them to get another job. So in a way, there's going to become slavery in a way, in my opinion. Real estate investment trusts are not doing well. And as a matter of fact, if you have a real estate investment trust, some of these shares that you have, you can't even cash them in right now. They've frozen them. Let's see, I'm not going to talk about that. Well, so where's the good news here, Baen? Look at this. You can't even cash in your real estate investment trust on those buildings in New York City, et cetera. 18% of the companies can't service their debt. Hey, I know you're getting depressed, man. I can see it. I mean, I'm as much fun as an enema. In a hospital, they say, who goes there, friend or enema? Yeah. So realtors, you're going to do really, really good. I can't go through the industrial stuff except to tell you that these big industrial warehouses, they're wonderful for the tax base, but they don't hire anybody. There's only a couple of forklift drivers in there. You know, they're building them like crazy all over the place, but they're not job makers. There may be some tax revenue stuff, but hang on a second. If everybody goes from making $60,000 a year down to making $30,000 a year, Amazon's going to go broke because nobody's going to have any money to buy anything to have it delivered to their goddamn house. How exciting is that? Why are you laughing, Chris? This is serious. They haven't figured out that we're in a tailspin. It's sort of like in a toilet watching poop go around. If you watch it long enough, it finally goes down. If you're not watching it, you don't care, right? So I just ask you tomorrow, when you flush the toilet, you just watch. It takes a long time before it gurgles at the bottom, and we ain't there, okay? So what are you going to do with all the stuff that you have? You know, the baby boomers have all these houses full of stuff. They're going to put it in their goddamn mini warehouses. How many of them do we need? I mean, they are everywhere, you know? And your kids don't want your stuff. And your parents want you to want their stuff. So what's happening in New York right now is while the kids are at work, the parents are breaking in and bringing all this stuff and leaving it in the living room. Isn't that cool? Awesome. So oil company is really bad in Texas right now. There's a whole bunch of bad stuff. But here's the good news. In 12 years, we're going to have 1.4 million more people in North Texas. 1.4 million. We need more of everything. Where's the growth going to be? And where are these people coming from? They're coming from the rest of the United States. They're not in immigration anymore. What part will you play? Have a positive attitude. Look long. Texas is a great place to be for a recession. Yep, we're probably going to have one. We're probably going to have one. It's probably going to be next year. U.S. is borrowing set to exceed annual income, annual economy. We're borrowing more money than we make in a whole goddamn year. This is fantastic for where we're going. Half the workers get paid more being laid off. What the hell is this? And they're paying dead people too. 1.8 million jobless Texans. Do you know how many that is? Yeah, it's 1.8, Baen. Those are people that have houses and stuff like that. Don't worry, there's going to be plenty of listings to be had. So part of your deal is going to be, you're also going to be an HR person. Sellers, buyers on the rise. Yep, everybody's buying. DFW near the top of investing properties. We're in the top 4 markets in the entire world is DFW. And it's going to have trickle all over the place. All these companies coming, everybody needs a house, etc. You're going to be there. Fed see interest rates near zero for 2 more years, 3 more years. We're going to have artificially low interest rates. We're going to have increasing value of houses, land, and everything else. Because real estate is the true basis of wealth. It maintains its value, regardless of what the dollar's doing. So loans help save 800,000 jobs at Babes, apparently. Moving right. We've still got a lot of people unemployed here. Got to keep going here. Amazon doesn't help because they only pay $15 an hour. The fatality rate of people catching C-19 is 3%. So if you've got it, there's a 3% chance you're going to die. If we do the demographics, it's even less than that. But I want somebody in this room, preferably a good-looking woman that's had C-19. I will pay her $250 to give me a wet kiss after this. I want to inoculate myself so I can get on with it. I've been tested twice. One of them, I never went and even got it, and they called me and said that I had it, but I didn't do the test. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. I'm not preaching at you. Last year, 2019, we lost 63,000 people to flu, and you never read about it in the newspaper. We've lost 200,000 wonderful people in the United States so far this year, and the year's almost over. 3 times more than the average flu, and the flu is going to kick on. But don't overreact to this stuff. for God's sakes, you're in Denton and you're Collin County and you're less dense than any place else versus the people downtown and stuff. So what do we have to offer here? We have cemetery plots. Let's see here now. Hang on. They don't know what to do with all the dead bodies in New York. I was going to tell you that. Also on the coast, we got people moving up from the coast. They're sick and tired of these storms. How many times do you have to lose your house before you move to North Texas? Are you with me here? So, and raising it's not going to work, man. Don't you love that house? Let's see here. And they're going to keep coming. We got all these fires out there in California. I'm not saying it's good, I'm not saying it's bad, but those people, I hear it every day on the news. We're not going back. We're not rebuilding. Our heart's been broken 3 times. Bay Area people, try this. There's Tulsa. There's a guy in Tulsa that's really rich. KVOO radio. He's got a foundation. He's offering anybody in San Francisco to move to Tulsa $10,000. And they can office at home in Tulsa. Now, when you move into Oklahoma, your IQ goes down. Remember that. They have been so swamped, they don't know what to do. The city of San Francisco, there's so many vacancies because, remember, Schwab is moving here and bringing all the brains with them. 4,000 right out of downtown San Francisco are going to North Lake, Roanoke, West Lake, whatever lake you want to call it. There's a 14-story office building, 3 of them, and they're all coming. And they're going to be in Denton County, and they're going to be buying houses here, and they're rich, man. The down payment of a house over there will pay cash for a multi-million-dollar house here. Okay, so what we've got here is we've got San Francisco fighting back. And for any vacancy, there is now a vacancy tax in the city of San Francisco. What bullshit is that? That ought to keep them there. California wants a federal bailout. Kiss my rosy ass in downtown Denton. They borrowed all the money. Why should we bail them out? I got to go here. I know. Oh, yeah. Texas is not safe from the state budget. So you thought it was a hard time to get a live person at the Texas Real Estate Commission this year? Try next year. You'll get a recording. Did you hear that the 911 thing went down for a few days ago for the whole country? So people like firing their police force or whatever, you're Texas, man. We believe in law and order. We believe in curfews. We believe in capital punishment. We're Texans, man. So let's just not lose that, because there's going to be a lot of idiots moving here that we got to educate them that we will shoot you if you touch my car. Denton is hurting. We're all hurt. All the government, you can say, well, there were too many people over there taking too long on a building permit anyway. Bullshit, man. We're all in this thing together, man. And you're creating jobs, and you're creating new house demand and things like that. And we've got bankruptcies that are coming. I'm not trying to, but we don't have this. People burning down our goddamn cities like the rest of the country. A Dallas curfew. There was a curfew. What are all those people? They're all lawbreakers, But here's a study that was done. Y'all listen up. Those that can't see it, I'll let you know. Population Chicago, 2.7 million. Houston, 2.15. Median income, 38,000, equal. Non-Hispanics, that means Caucasians, 28 versus 26% in Houston. Concealed handgun. You're not allowed to own a gun in Chicago. It's illegal. Can't even get a permit for one. Can't. How many gun stores are there in Chicago? 0. How many in Houston? 184. Yes. Plus Walmart. Okay, and so let's look at the homicides. 7-1. 8-1. So Houston is a much safer place. What did this survey conclude, the researchers? That cold weather causes murders. What the hell? Every time I pick up a piece of Chicago pizza, I listen to it, and I can hear gunshots in the distance. So, looting in Chicago, we don't have this. We don't want this. And we got guys defending the Alamo 170 years later. State Farm is hiring 10,000 in Allen. Mortgage company, Mr. Cooper over here, they keep bugging me. They want every student I've got as an intern or full-time person that knows what a note and deed of trust is and can talk to consumers who are hurting, the servicing people. They're going to hire 2,000 in Louisville, man. You're in the right place at the right time. It's Denton County, for God's sakes, man. This is all good. I got to hurry here. Newest diamond snags biggest gem. We're talking about the World Series coming to Arlington. Holy cow! You were in the right place in the right whole deal. People keep asking, is C19 really that serious, Baen? I said, listen up. Casinos and churches are closed. When heaven and hell agree on the same thing, must be serious. So, here's what we got, man. UNT's doing fine. Real estate program strong as ghost breath. We've got people giving scholarships like crazy. We've got 3 endowments now lately that we're just so thankful for. It's got really long shadows. We've got 36 Texans made the list of billionaires in the United States, and they're all in the real estate or in the oil and gas business, which is real estate, almost all of them. So you're in the right business in the right time. This is what my students actually look like in real life before March 15th. I'm not going to show you the picture of them naked from the waist down attending a Zoom class. I'm thanking you guys for everything that you're doing in the real estate market. It's so important what you do. October 2020, relax. Rate cuts to 0 will not help. Country's broke. What's more important, return of investment or return on investment? And that depends. Sometimes it's better to just get your money back. Number 2, financial investments have ruled for 12 years. Bonds, notes, deeds of trust, and stocks. The bond market is 6 times bigger than the stock market. So any interest rate increase, the bonds go down in value. Hard asset values, what's the deal? I have this, many of you have heard it for years. I believe in the 6 G's. Gold, guns, ground, which is real estate, gas, which is oil and gas, grub, which is commodities, and God. Without that, we're all dead. But you need 15% in cash. Because if we have a meltdown, you'll be able to buy back everything that you ever wanted for 15 cents. Or go get leveraged up. If you're young, and if I was young, that's what I'd do. I'd go borrow as much money as I could at 3% on non-recourse debt, and I would leverage up and I'd buy anything that's not nailed down in Denton and Collin County. Not to be the bearer of good news, but you're in the right business at the right time in the right place.